Hi, today I want to show you my home-built log splitter. I built this from scratch about 2 or 3 years ago. We'll start with the I-beam. It's a 8x8 I-beam. I boxed part of it in. Is a tank. I have 2 tanks on this. The first part's in the beam. I have a bypass valve where I can bypass that first tank if the weather's real cold, so the oil will stay kind of warm in that position. The oil bypasses the first tank, flows into the secondary tank, which is the axle. Oil flows through there, up here. There's a suction strainer here underneath the engine, comes up around back to the pump. It's a 2-stage hydraulic pump, 18 gallon a minute. I put a pressure gauge on it so I can tell what the pressure is, so I can set the relief valves. This is a high pressure hose, comes up to the valve. You have a 2-way spool valve. One way is a detent, the other one's spring loaded. That makes a cylinder extend. This makes a return. When the cylinder is fully returned, the pressure makes it release. I used an 8-horse Tecumseh engine. One of the last engines Tecumseh made. I didn't know they were going out of business when I bought the engine. I put a 5-inch cylinder on here. It's capable of about 34 tons of pressure. I made a fairly big splitting wedge. It's 3/4 inch thick plate. Well, keep a couple pieces of angle iron on it. On the end of the beam, put a big plate. Started out with a plate that was 1.5 inches thick, but that bent, so had to cut that off. I put a 2-inch thick plate on there. As you can see, I put plenty of cleats on the end so wood won't slip off. And along the beam here, in the track that the wedge wides in, I put some holes. I can drop a 3/8 bolt in, depending on the length of the log. If I'm splitting short logs, I just drop a bolt in behind the wedge. When the cylinder returns and this hits the bolt, it kicks a detent, so the cylinder doesn't have to travel the full travel. It saves a little bit of time. I have a return filter. I have a suction or a vent cap on it. I made that kind of tall so I can see it. The tailgate of my truck up. I'm backing up so I can see where it's going. That's pretty much it. I made this log rack last year. It's like a shelf. So if I'm splitting a bigger piece of wood, I want to split it again. It saves a half on this side, so I don't have to pick it up again. It just slides on and off. This part just slides on and off. There's 3 bolts in there. Hold it on. It comes off real easy. And last year, I made this 4-way wedge. Just slides right over the main wedge. So one pass, it splits it 4 ways. Saves a lot of time. That's it.